Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you very much for joining me today for today's video. So today we're going to be working on the brand new medium album die set. Now I know I'm going to get quite a few questions about this one, about the sizing as well. So this is replacing the MIDI album die set. I'll pop the words here, MIDI album die set. Now this is optional if you want to get this one if you already have the MIDI, but this one is slightly different because you get the page die is different. You have the tabs on either side so that you can choose whether you want to have a side loading pocket or a top loading pocket instead, just depending on how many tabs you keep on the side and how you assemble it. Okay, so you also get the spine pieces included in the die set as well, and also some different pockets, and this will also work with the MIDI editions, so I'll pop that there as well. MIDI editions, this will work with that die set if you have that one already. If not, I will make sure that it is linked down below. So let's have a quick look at the die set. So this is the main page die here, and we have the matte die there, and here we have the two spine sets. Now we also have these little notch marks here to shorten it so that you can have the spine going across the shorter side of the album, or keep it as full to go on the longer one. So just so you can visualize that, this is what we do. We cut that off there just like so to make a shorter spine to fit on the longer on the shorter side here, so you can have a more landscaped look. Now that really does change the album quite a bit. So I have one here already. This one here is made in landscape using the shorter trimmed off side, and this one here is made using the longer side, so it looks more square, but it's actually in portrait. So you also get these lovely little tabs as well. You get a choice of two. You've got the longer tab and the shaped tab. These are lovely. You can really make some nice rainbow colours with this one here. Oh, I've glued that one in. My glue must not have been dry when I popped that in. There we go. And you also get the pocket as well here, the pocket die here. Now this die is slightly shaped, so I'm hoping you can be able to see how that pops up on either end. So we also get the corner circle die as well. I do have one. There we go, we've got the circle die there, and the mats and paper clip and a photo corner, make 4 of those, and a little shaped mat there. So in today's video I'm going to be making the pages and popping them inside a wrapped cover. In the wrapped cover, we made this in the last video. I'll make sure that is linked down below, and I've used my brand new toolkit to make that super duper easy. So let's get on with showing you how to do the pages. Okay, so I'm going to die cut 2 pages to make 1 page. That does not make sense. I'm going to use 1 page die to make 2 pages. Let's start again. Okay, so we're going to start off by die cutting our page. So you need to die cut 2 of these. So I'm going to run that through. You are going to be needing a large format die cutting machine, and preferably 2 packs of cardstock to get you through this. Normally with mini album making you do need to go through a lot of cardstock to make one. Now that is not unique to using the dies, that is if you are also making them from scratch manually as well with a scoreboard. You do go through a lot of card and a lot of adhesive as well, so just make sure that you're prepared for that. Okay, and before I get questions, I'm using the brand new Big Shot Switch Plus. I am enjoying it. As you can see, it's been christened quite well, and I've been rotating my plates to make sure that they stay as straight as possible. And keep these offcuts because you can use those for pockets and other bits and bobs. Okay, so let's do one more. Okay, so for this album you need to make 8 pages, so that's 16 of those you need to cut out. And if you want to be economical and you know which tab you're going to be trimming off, say this tab for example, you can even offset that slightly so that you can just trim off at the score line, and then you could fit 2 of those on there. So that's one good way of making sure that you use your cardstock in the best way. Okay, so I'm going to be chopping off these side tabs there, because I'm going to be making this in like the portrait position with a pocket on the side. Okay, so all we've got to do now is just fold those over, press those down, okay, so I'm going to open out this one and I'm going to leave this one folded under. Grab your glue, okay, so I'm just going to add these on top of each other. I'm not going over the score line, and then I'm going to carefully just fold that over because it's still wet and drying. And then if you haven't got it on straight, you can just straighten that up now before the glue dries. That's one of the great things about using the glue, is that you can just get that done whilst it's still wet. Okay, so now I'm just going to add glue just to the last tab here, because it's already folded over, it's ready to just be popped together. It makes it super easy for that. Okay, and that is my last page, that is page 8. Now that is all going to pop onto the binding. So here is my binding, so let's quickly grab out the dies again. Okay, so you need to cut out one of these ones and 3 of those, and I'm going to be using the full size. I don't need to trim those down. And if you want to, if you're wondering why I have an extra little score line there, it's skipped. Okay, so these do the score lines for you. However, if you feel like you need to make them deeper, just like so, just go onto a scoreboard and do that. It is going to make it a little bit easier. When we manufacture the dies, it's so difficult to get the score line perfect for everyone and for each different sort of machine people are using. Even the same brands of machine will have slightly different calibration to each other as well. So basically, if you do need to go in there, just go in there with a scoreboard and just make that a little bit easier for yourself. It really will help you to get a straighter fold. Okay, those are all folded, so we're now ready to get gluing. So I'm going to start off with the first one, just a quick dry run there to show you that. It's going to go in the middle. Hoping the lighting is so funny in here today. So I'm just going to add my glue just along here. Again, if you use double-sided tape, just add a bit of glue as well. That's really going to help it last a long time after you've actually made the album. So I'm just going to pop that right in the middle. I didn't want to add any notch marks or anything on here because anything that I put on there would be visible. And also you can experiment if you want to have really bulky built up pages with lots of dimension on them. You can just put 2 of these either side of here and just have 2, so that would make 4 pages in the middle. Okay, so there's so many different ways that you can put this together. Okay, so with this one, just going to pop this on this side, just getting my gaps just right. There we go. And again, I need to get these on as straight as possible, because if any of these go on a little bit off, you're going to have a wonky page, and there's nothing that you can do about that once it's on. So make sure you get your hinges on as straight as possible, vertical as possible. just going to move that over just slightly. Because I'm using glue, I can move things about. And the best way to test this is just to check all the gaps here are all even, top and bottom. That all looks good to me. Now I'm going to leave that alone completely now, just to dry off, whilst I quickly show you this wrapped cover that we made in the previous video. I'll make sure that video is linked down below. This is turning out to be super colourful, and I'll be matting it with these beautiful papers here. You also get 2 cut aparts. So I've kind of collated all of the patterns together, so they're all together. So you get all of these cut aparts. So I'll be spending the evening cutting those out. Okay, so this has had a little bit of time now to dry. You can tell this is my favourite colour. That's my cup. Absolutely love this. Blue is one of my favourite colours, but it absolutely pops against the pink. It's amazing. Okay, so this is going to go on in there, just in the centre. So I am going to add this with quite a bit of glue, because we don't want this part to fail, because if this bit comes out, all of your pages come out too. So you want to make sure that everything is in there really well, nicely secured. Okay, so I have here, I'm just going to get in my mind's eye where both of those creases are. Here, those folds, so I can get this right in the middle. Again, I want this as straight as possible. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm just going to press down. And again, I need to go and leave that to dry just for a few moments. Okay, so I'm going to start at the back and work my way across. So I'm going to start off by exercising the hinges. Now, this might need a little bit longer to dry actually, but we're just going to fold that over just like that. Just get them going one way, and then I'm just going to turn them all over carefully again, and then press them down that way. Now, I don't think I have a top and a bottom yet to this. This is quite generic, whether I have it this way or that way. So we're going to start off with the back hinge here. I'm going to add glue to both sides of the hinge. Again, you can use double-sided tape, but if you are new to this, definitely choose the glue to get you started. Okay, so here's the first page. Again, I do have a tutorial from the Ukraine Charity Live that I will link down below, where I made this album and all the pages were decorated, so I decorated them first. Okay, so I'm lining this up top and bottom so that I know that that is straight. I've gone up to the score line, but I haven't covered it, so I know that my page will turn. And I always press this bit down when it's down flat, because if you stick it up in this position, it's just going to want to stay like that. It's not really going to want to turn very well. So I'm just going to work my way through this and get every page on in exactly the same way as what I've just done for this first page that I've put in. So I'm going to slide that on, match it either side and make sure that's straight, and then I can press that down. And I'm going to turn that over, just make sure it's pressed down on that side as well. Okay. Okay, so that is the last page done. Just make sure you get or wipe off any bits of extra glue in between all these little pages there. So now we have all of our pages popped in. There we go, looking good. So all I have to do now is just decorate. So here is an example here of a fully decorated, just need to do the cover. This is what it will look like once you get all of your papers in. And you also get the page die in there for the mat as well, so that's really good. Now these are extra sets. This is the sun the Sunshine die set. There we go. This is actually quite heavy. There's a lot of metal in here, so you get page mats as well as other bits and bobs that I'll be showing you how to use it. And we also have the circles die set too, so there'll be more samples coming along in later videos. So I absolutely love how this has turned out. This feels like a really nice, good, sturdy album, especially with the wrapped cover. And I just love the little pockets, and I do actually love this Sunshine die set there. So you can have a lot of fun making different versions of this as well. There's so many different options that you can do. Anyway, I'm babbling on now. So that is how you pop together the brand new medium album die set. Lovely. I can't wait to get this covered with the beautiful pattern paper. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. Everything that I've used today is listed down below, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.